Good evening and welcome to season 13 of Next Gen. We're here at Sugo for the GT5s, and we currently have 13 races tonight. Those races being AMH Racing, who's just coming out of the pits, Gaza 123, NGR Mad Marshall making a return to the series, the Burnt Fry 699, Lagerfani is here, Shadowstalker DBS, Boyraxer 14, The Les, Web User Johnny, Giorgio Magalan 0, Fraser, Adam Morris, and obviously Jamie F430. Good evening to everyone who's watching. Jordan Hogan, I am good. Good to hear you okay. Hopefully get some good action around Sugo. Normally produces decent racing, so we shall see. I'll be back in a minute. I'll be inviting a guest commentator who I forgot to invite before I started this, because that's like me. Luckily everyone's on a on their outlaps. And here he is. Good evening, Six.
Good evening, Jordan. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So, Sugo in the GT5s. Should be quite interesting, really.
Yeah, a lot of right-handed corners, so the left-hand wheels, tyres will be worked hard. So the people who can control the temperatures the best, I imagine, have a good opportunity of having a late race surge, or in the case of Boyraxer, a late race pull away at the front.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because this place normally breeds quite good action in general, so
yeah,
lots of places to overtake.
Well, especially in these cars as well. Running up the back straight out of that final corner. Definitely need to get a good run up the hill, and the slightest error there will cost you big time.
Yeah, obviously, turn one is going to be a big talking point for overtaking, as Jamie sets the current pole sitting time of a 1 minute 30.2. AMH popping in second. Yeah, that should be quite a good overtaking spot for everyone.
So what was that? I was just realising that I'm actually driving, but okay. I'm not driving, I didn't mean to be.
We've got a driver mic'd up in Seeks here.
I'm not driving, don't worry. I'm just going to sit in the garage.
I think you can retire and then use the monitor, I think.
I did, but it's still giving me the option to drive on track, so I don't really know what's going on there.
AMH Racing currently in third. Boyraxer now with the top time, a 1 minute 30.171. 0.1 of a second ahead of Jamie. Good to see a decent grid, really. 13 races tonight.
Yeah, very good. Nice to see, especially in. Seems to be quite troubled at the moment with lack of numbers in Next Gen, but it's excellent to see a good turnout tonight. Hopefully, it will result in a good race.
For any of those who don't know who Seeks is, he tends to drive. He's my teammate actually in GT4s, and he commentates on the Thursday league of the RS 1600s, which is a good league to get in. I enjoyed driving that one. So
yeah, you did well last night as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So yeah, do go check out his channel J644 to watch all of that. Very good watch, especially in those cars. But,
Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely, it's great fun to drive and good sideways action. A very competitive field.
back to the action, and Fraser still hasn't set a time yet. This is unusual of him, because normally he's up in the top 5 area.
Oh, and he's just gone off.
Yeah,
also,
yeah, back to the pits.
NGR Adam Morris as well. I've got to get used to that name.
I know.
He's only just come out the pits.
It's another NGR tag to the tower.
Right, they're both in the pit lane.
Yeah, I wonder if Adam's going to start from the back. I mean, I don't know what the point situation is because I've not been given a points table, obviously. But I would.
Johnny though, up in 5th place, going well, and half a second quicker than his previous best lap coming into the final sector.
Coming into. I'm going to get a map up actually, because I know there's proper corner names. Into the final corner. Webby's John number 32 machine. That's normally your car, Seeks. He's driving, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm back in Johnny. Really getting to grips with a lot of the cars recently. He's trying everything. He's lost a fair bit of time in the final sector, but still improved on his time.
Fifth place at the moment, ahead of another newcomer really to the series. Only had a couple of races there, Giorgio Magalan, who looks quick in debut, and round here, he's just not quite got it hooked around here so far.
Yeah, last week at where were we? Texas at Cotter, he was quick, just a bit unfortunate, but definitely one to watch out for as he goes on at the hairpin, turn 9.
Let's find someone to go on board and have a lap with. This never. Oh, no, the Lasers put it in 5th place. Good lad.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of good pace in recent weeks in these cars.
Right, here we go, a lap of Sugo. I'm going to talk you through it with Jamie F430. We come down to the first corner. It's quite an open 90 right, and you can put it into the second corner quite nicely. Bring it over to the right hand side, flat almost. Oh no, typically.
It's
He
always
goes
the
in
way.
the bloody pits. Who else? Come on, let's find someone. Who we got?
AMH is about to start a lap.
Here we go then, AMH into the first corner. Let's try this again. 2 minutes 8 on the clock. So into the first corner, clip the apex, and just try and take it as one big corner into the second corner. Over to the right hand side, flat through the third corner, and up to the hairpin curve. Quite a tight hairpin, much tighter than you think on the entry as it nips up a bit. Then into the S-shaped curve, which is absolutely flat in these things and in pretty much most cars in this game. Up to high point corner, just a little bit of brake, get it turned in and back on the throttle as I think that might be Boy Raxa. Rainbow corner.
No, it was NGR Adam Morris.
Ah.
And there's Boy Raxa just on your right.
Rainbow corner there. Later apex, AMH backs off the throttle. We'll be preparing.
He's going to try and sit in with these two. He's going to sit in behind them, or them 4 in fact.
Back on board with Boy Raxa.
Regrouping.
SP in, very fast left-hander. SP out slightly tighter, but not a lot. Still carry good pace. Down into the 110R. Again, another very fast corner. And a little left in and then flat for the rest of it into final corner. And out onto the main straight, which is going to be big for slipstreaming. And this is, I tell you, this straight is where, this straight in the back straight is where a lot of time can be made up in qualifying if you're following someone as Adam Morris is at the moment.
Yeah.
In fact, you got a 4-car train, and I mean, I'm not surprised of the 4 people in this train.
No. Good friends on and off the track. So.
The only person missing from this is Gaza.
Yeah, he's halfway around the lap. Well, actually, he's just come up to
the end.
Across the line. Currently in 3rd. Even if he does improve, he'll get another lap, just about.
He will get another lap
this time. But you'd imagine the other 4 are all going to improve with the toes that they're getting. Even being out front in that toe gives you a little bit of an advantage.
Who have we got finishing in at the moment?
Tired. Fraser up to 6th, but just gone back to the pits. Johnny is in 7th.
Mad Marshall ends in 11th. A return visit by Mad Marshall to the series. Good to see him back for at least one round, by the seems of it. The Burnt Fry.
It's a very easy league to just fall back into with a fair bit of time away. So it's very driver friendly. Is probably the best way of putting it.
Here comes the Burnt Fry across the line. Does improve. Doesn't improve his position though.
Here comes the quartet.
Boyrax of 14.
Boyrax has gone quickest.
Yeah, and Adam Morris puts it in 2nd. AMH in 5th. Good time by Adam Morris on the cusp of the session.
Yeah.
Here comes web user Johnny. He's coming up to the line. He puts in 8th place. And Giorgio Magalan doesn't do anything about it.
No, he did. He just jumped.
Did he? He did get him at the end. Very tight. So, Boyrax of 14 takes the pole position from Adam Morris. Jamie F30 in 3rd. Gaza in 4th. AMH is in 5th. The Les in 6th. Fraser 7th. Giorgio Magalan 0 is in 8th by only a couple of tenths to web user Johnny. And he moves it forward. We have, behind that, Lagerfanning in 10th. Good qualifying by him. He's ahead of Shadowstalker DBS and NGR Mad Marshall. The Burnt Fry is 13th and Seats 44 is not in the race. He'll be retiring. Or getting disqualified for not starting.
Yeah, I will do that. Oh, actually, I can retire and spectate now, so I might just do that.
Let us know who you think's going to win this. I mean, I reckon Adam Morris has got a good chance here. There's.
I still think Boyrax is favourite to win it.
Yeah, but I just got a feeling around here, Adam Morris.
Quartet and still went quicker than the rest of them. Gaz will be interesting because obviously he didn't have a toe on his fastest lap. AMH can be quite aggressive on the overtakes, fair but aggressive. And the Les has been the best of the rest in recent weeks, especially at Brno when he was challenging for the win right until the last lap. But then got a fair few people that can cause upsets, such as Fraser's always one to look out for. And web user Johnny up, well, he was up there at the start of qualifying, dropped down a little bit there.
Yeah, down in 9th, but it's quite a tight field in reality. I mean, you could be 9th and only a second off the pace in this league. It's pretty ridiculous at times.
Oh, there we go.
So here we go. We're going to have 3 red lights very shortly as we sink in. Here at Sugo, 3 red lights. And we're green at Japan, and that is a good launch from Boyrax of 14. Everyone
Very
coming
close
up.
to too good a launch.
two tandems coming into the first turn then. Adam Morris will keep that second place. Jamie's under attack here from Gaza going through the second corner into the third. And behind, AMH and the Les going side by side. The Les just tucking back in. The rest, Giorgio Magalan, best starter so far, up to 7th. He's managed to get Fraser through the S-shaped curve, up to High Point Corner for the first time, and we are now in stalemate, really, at the moment.
Oh, Giorgio's gone round. Just caught the exit curve at the end of Rainbow Corner and speared into the wall. That's into the back of the field. Thankfully for him, damage is off. It's only on visual, so he will continue unharmed, only with a loss in time.
Yeah, very unlucky. It's easy to do around Rainbow Curve, but he's got a long race ahead of him. At least he's at the start, not at the end, as Jamie F430 goes wide into the gravel through SP out. That's going to drop him down to 6th place now for the host. But Boyrax are getting away at the front. He's nearly a second up, which, if he can get another half second, he's out with the toe.
And AMH just lining up Gaz at the moment. He's having a look. No, just thinks better of it. Little dummy, just showing his nose. And Gaz has actually gone straight on. So AMH will take the position, and Les is now going to look to capitalise as well.
Very uncharacteristic mistake from Gaza. Just probably hitting the brakes too late with AMH looking all around him. He's probably more focused on him. So very well played by AMH to almost distract Gaz into the first corner there. As the Les hits the gravel. Oh, he's clipped Jamie. Jamie's got away with it.
Les has gone round. He's going to rejoin right at the back of the field, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be... yeah, behind the burnt fry.
Web user Johnny also lost it on turn 3. So he's dropped right down the field.
The gap at the front now, 1.4 seconds. But Adam Morris under attack from AMH into SPN. Runs a little bit wide. Gathers it up for SP out. Down to the 110R.
Great shot, that camera angle. Love that one.
See the different line Adam uses compared to the others. He brings out a wider and then brings it into the later apex. I don't think it's helped him in this case, because here comes AMH down the inside as we head on to lap number 3.
Yeah, you do see a lot of people do different things through that final corner. There was maybe a little bit of a bump there between the two drivers in the battle for second, but he got away with it. But as I was saying, definitely see some different lines through that final corner. Some people throw it in and just scrub the speed off through the corner. Some people take a bit of a wider line and try and get a good exit. So see how people fare with that, as Jamie F13 is now really caught up to the back of this group and looking to mix it and try and get onto the podium.
You see, Adam Morris doesn't look comfortable out there at the moment. He's not getting the right pace at all. And here comes Gaza and Jamie FL30 for good measure down the backstretch corner and into horseback. Very uncharacteristic from Adam Morris. Losing 2 places at 1 corner.
Not Shadow still green, isn't it? Burnt Fries has gone round. That rainbow.
Nonetheless, to try and catch up, but back with the action for second, and Adam Morris is instantly looking to get back at Jamie FL30. Jamie FL30's clipped the grass and he's round at the final corner and into the barriers.
Very tricky place to get out of, thankfully for him. Yeah. Oh, Fraser's gone off as well in sympathy. But I was going to say, thankfully for him, no one else is coming around the corner, and this is going to allow... Who is that coming?
That's Lagerfanny.
Go on, Lagerfanny.
He's up into the top 5.
A relatively newcomer to the series as well. Not a regular driver, but a man of many talents, has to be said.
This currently probably one of the highest places Lagerfanny's ran all year in a Project Cars League, I'd assume.
No, he done very well in the V8s. He was second or third in that championship. Unfortunately, that's concluded. But we've not got any final points for that, so he's either second or third in that one. Oh, Jamie's gone round again.
Jamie having an absolute nightmare of a race. He's now down in 10th place.
And the Les and the Burnt Fry have changed positions out the back.
Yeah, the Burnt Fry, I think, has made either a very... Oh no, he hasn't made a big mistake. My timing's just decided to catch up now. He's not far behind the Les, but I think the Les will start to pull away in this.
Yeah, I'd imagine he would. Qualified well. Could definitely got some good speed in these cars.
Fraser has already got past Lagerfanny. Lagerfanny now demoted to 6th place, and behind we have web user Johnny and Giorgio Magellan.
You know, Giorgio, I would say, is the quicker of the two, but just trying to be patient, get a good exit. They're probably going to try it up the back straight in turn 1. You see 2 different lines there. In fact, Giorgio's basically bump drafting Johnny around this final corner.
Well, they know they can get up to Lagerfanny here. If they work together, this could turn into a 3-way battle for 6th. So, and yeah, we know these cars with the draft can go at least half a second quicker than the car ahead, if the car ahead has no draft.
Yep, Georgia was a little look, not quite anything doing, but they're definitely closing in on Nagafani. What time is going to do? Yeah, almost two seconds quicker that lap compared to Naga.
The nice thing with these cars is you don't have to be the quickest to defend from someone who's quicker behind you, as we saw like last night in the escorts. Plenty of people defending from people they just shouldn't be, really.
Such as yourself.
Yes. That was a tough race. Giorgio, though, looking down the inside, web user Johnny has lost the back end a little bit going through High Point Curve. And that's allowed Giorgio through. Giorgio's made a...
no! He's done it again.
Same mistake.
And he's lost half of the car. Jamie's
same
in
mistake.
The background just caught up to... Who is that? Who's Jamie caught up to? I'm only getting the short initials, so I'm only getting NGR, so I can't tell who that is.
I think that is Mad Marshall and Jamie FL30.
Yeah.
I can confirm Giorgio Magalan has retired from this race at Sugo as Jamie gets past Mad Marshall around the outside of SPN. Very unusual. It almost looked like Mad Marshall decided he didn't really fancy a battle there.
Maybe just happy to sit in behind, follow the lines of Jamie and try and learn a bit. So not a regular, but definitely always trying to learn. But meanwhile, back for Lagerfeld, he's giving him a bit of a respite. Got a little bit of a gap now to Johnny.
Yeah, I think web user Johnny should start to catch him. He was a tenth quicker on the last lap, so not far. He's only 9/10 behind Lagerfeld at the moment, and he's got half the race still to go. But so far, a very solid drive by Lagerfeld.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely like to see him do well. Very committed driver to...
AMH has made a mistake somewhere as well. I do apologise for butting in.
Gaz is up to second.
But Gaz is in second, yeah. And the gap is 3 seconds to the leader of Boyrac, so he is absolutely flying away with this one.
Yeah, and that must have been last lap actually, because he lost 2 seconds at last lap today, AMH. And NGR Morris almost lost it there. Just went wide onto the gravel, just about held it together. We'll live to fight another day. Got a very big gap of 13 odd seconds to Fraser behind. But now he's out of slipstream, and I imagine this is where he'll finish. Unless the other two come to blows ahead.
Lagerfeld is pulling away from web user Johnny here. He's now up to about 1.2, although he's losing a lot of time through the final corner. Back down to 9/10, and the slipstream should start to take effect.
Yeah, definitely up this part of the track. It really does help.
See
Not the most powerful cars, so any sort of slipstream will help. And web user Johnny's just put his own personal best lap in. 3/10 quicker than Lager that time round.
Through the third corner, 7/10 the gap. You always feel that Lagerfeld is actually better through some of the medium-paced corners, but as soon as you get anywhere in the faster-paced, web user Johnny just has that little bit of an edge.
Mate, it might just be down to bravery. Lager's happy to be in 6th and doesn't want to risk throwing it into a corner and running wide, whereas Johnny's trying to catch up and happy to take a couple more risks. Might just purely be down to that.
It's interesting to note as well, Fraser is not really getting away here. That gap has stayed constant at about 3.2 seconds.
Yeah, I say there's only 3/10 difference on lap time that last lap. So Fraser's not pulling away excessively, but he's got a comfortable enough gap to deal with at the moment. I mean, the laps are ticking down. We're on to lap 8 for the leaders now. Not too far
Man Marshall's gone off at the horseback corner. That's allowed Shadowstalker through, and here comes the Les. The Les now moves up into 10th place. He's back in that top 10 position.
I imagine the Les will get Shadowstalker maybe next lap. Or at least he'll close right into the back of him, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, 2.3 the Les took out of Shadowstalker on the last lap, so...
NGR Adam Morris is slowing down. And...
Lagerfeld, he's back in the top 5.
He's just gone past. Adam Morris must have had a blunder coming out of the final corner, because he lost a lot of time and it was very slow down the straight, so I can only imagine he had a big error on the final corner.
This is not the usual Adam Morris we're used to seeing here.
No, but also Jamie's just caught the back of Webuse and Johnny as well, so we'll keep an eye on both of these battles.
I wonder if Jamie's now counting on Lagafani keeping Adam Morris held up here, and maybe trying to work with Johnny a little bit as he's looking. Well, in fact, he's just looking down the inside of the horse towards the back stretch corner and the horseback. But you'd like to think that he might work with Johnny a little bit to try and catch up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jamie will definitely want to be getting past as soon as he can, which he has done, and he'll expect Johnny not to really come back at him. But Johnny would definitely try and work with Jamie now, if he does get close enough, and stick with it. But is it starting to rain? I see on the screen.
Apparently we are due some rain. As Adam Morris now pulls alongside, and these boys run slick tyres, remember.
So this just cut in. AMH is caught right up to the back of Gaza now, and they're actually catching Boyraxa almost a second that last lap. So maybe the rain is kicking in quickly, and the driver's having to adjust. And it looks like AMH is doing that best of the front three drivers at the moment.
Adam Morris has got past Lagafani for that 5th place.
And some drivers are pitting. Les and I think it's Mad Marshall coming in. My camera can't quite keep up. Yep, Mad Marshall and the Les are in. Pitting for wets.
Wet tyres.
I don't
actually
actually know how many laps this is, so how far to the end have we got?
This is lap 9 of 12, but if this rain gets bad enough, those cars on slick tyres will not last very long. They will not be nice to drive. But there would have to be some puddles.
It's going to be about 25 seconds. Will you make up 25 seconds in 3 laps?
Depends how many times the cars with slicks go off in the weather, I guess. As Boyrax comes through.
How quickly the wet does become
wet.
Hard. Yeah.
As we laugh about that, Lagafani has Jamie F30 right behind him coming onto the main straight. Look at the closest of that. Jamie now up the inside onto the main straight. That is they're coming in the pits. In the pits. This is big news.
Jamie's got nothing to lose really. He would expect himself to be higher than that. Johnny goes by. Now this is an interesting call.
I wonder what
I don't imagine it will be enough. I think there's not enough time. They're not losing enough time at the front to warrant it.
Although Johnny was a bit sketchy coming out of the first corner there. I wonder what the viewers' thoughts are on this. Would you
back
pit?
To the front, AMH is going down the inside of Gaza into turn 9 horseback. Will they get it stopped? AMH using all the curb just to find any sort of anything to slow him down, and he's got the move done. So AMH back up to 2nd place.
You can see how much time they're losing. You can see how much time they're losing. The amount of time they're off throttle going through SP in is a lot.
Yeah, but if the boys just come out of the pit lane now, and the leaders are coming around the final corner. So, I mean, they were about 20 seconds further back, but who's first of the... Fraser's was in 4th, and he's only just come... He's going around turn 10 and 11 now. So they're basically half a lap behind. Will they make that up in,
I've got a feeling Fraser didn't come in the pits, because Adam Morris is there.
No,
I don't think Adam Morris pitted either. The first man
these
on...
boys haven't.
The first man on wets is Jamie.
Yeah, and he's only going around Rainbow now. And
we have had another... I believe that might be Mad Marshall. Or is it the Les? It's the Les, I think, actually. There should be 2 thers, and there's not.
Yeah.
We've lost the Les, and I think we've lost Mad Marshall for good measure.
And Gaza's falling back from AMH, but AMH at the same time is closing Benji, Boyraxa.
This is the penultimate lap at the moment as Boyraxa comes down the back stretch and into the horseback corner. Weather conditions not ideal now on slick tyres. It's going to be tough, but if you can hold it out, it looks to be the way forward.
Sorry, just further back, P4 and 5 Fraser and Adam Morris are fighting for the position, but just behind them, I've got the Burnt Fry who's just pitted for wets. So this is going to be an interesting experiment, and actually Burnt Fry looks like he's going to be going past the two. This is a very interesting call. I think Burnt Fry will actually just sit behind and try not to interfere.
No need to do a knock
it looks
on
like
here.
It's quicker than the two of them.
You can see the difference in grip. And Fraser goes wide. Yeah. Adam Morris up the inside of the horseback corner up towards SPN. This is going to be dodgy as hell, too wide into SPN. The understeer taking effect in Fraser's. The Burnt Fry nowhere really to go at the moment. He's looking to get past, I reckon.
If I was him, I would just go for it. Just go for it, mate. But
Adam
the
Morris.
lead's closed down to half a second.
Adam Morris completes the move. 3-1-10R. The back end sliding like hell. But at the front, as Seeks has mentioned, Boyraxer only has half a second to AMH. Up into High Point Curve. Into Rainbow. AMH. I do wonder, did AMH maybe start on wets?
Oh, maybe. But he was lapping well. He was lapping well to start with. So
but that's the thing with these cars. I suspect you probably could still stay fairly okay on wet tyres and dry.
Oh, sorry, just to cut back. Fraser and Adam have gone side by side for the whole first sector, and Fraser's now repassed. But
yeah, Fraser.
2/10, so we'll stick with it. Is this the final lap? Or is it
this is the final lap of the race at the moment as we come into 110R. The final corner for the final time. It looks like Boyraxer might hold on, but that you got to watch out for the draft because it's still a long way to the line. Although I think 4/10 he might be safe up the hill. And it will be Boyraxer 14 who takes the win at Sugo from AMH. A very tight finish yet again between those two. Gaza123 completes the podium. Adam Morris has re-overtaken Fraser in the meantime.
Johnny and Jamie are having a good battle. They've just repassed each other a couple of times. Jamie just out on top of the moment.
The Burnt Fry looking around the outside of Fraser into 110R. That's not even for position.
He's enjoying this. He's actually, even though they're on different tyres, I bet Burnt Fry is quite enjoying this battle.
Remember, this is not even for position. This is just a bloke who's a lap down at the moment.
On better tyres.
Yeah.
On the
Adam
right
Morris
tyres.
will come home in 4th place. The Burnt Fry in 10th. He stuck it out. Good on him. NGR place. Jamie F430 has ditched web user Johnny, as you would expect on wet tyres, compared to slicks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, look at the time and difference. Jamie a 38 last lap, Johnny a 57.
Boyraxer a 44.
Yeah.
Jamie F430 will come home in 6th, the first on wet tyres.
Oh, Johnny's actually just lost the position to Lagerfani as well.
And Lagerfani's on wets as well. Lagerfani comes home 7th with web user Johnny in 8th.
Shai Stalker pitted. Was he on the first ones to pit, I think, wasn't he?
He came, yes, I think he might have been with Les. The Burnt Fry enjoyed that battle with Fraser, even though he was on lap down. Shadow Stalker will complete in 9th place. So the provisional results from Sugo: Boyraxer 14 does win from AMH Racing, Gaza in 3rd, Adam Morris 4th, Fraser 5th, Jamie is in 6th, Lagerfani in 7th, web user Johnny 8th, Shadow Stalker 9th, and the Burnt Fry will finish in the top 10. Delay is retired after 9 laps, and Mad Marshall got disqualified after 8 laps. Speeding in the pit lane, yeah. Giorgio Maglan retired after 4 laps, and our good friend Seeks was on commentary duties.
I imagine that the top 2, Boyraxer and AMH, will be separated by a similar sort of gap in the GT4s after this as well.
Yes, which is not commentated on because I'm racing in it. Just having a look at some of the chat. The Les having issues with pit stops. He selected wet tyres twice and it sent him back out on worn slicks. So that's reason for retirement for the Les, which is understandable there.
He's had a tough week.
Yes, he has. Next race, let me quickly get it up before we leave for the night and before we go to GT4s. On the basis that we never get used, I cannot remember. Is it in the rear view?
We did have one at the start of the season. Oh yeah,
in the rear view
racing.
Yeah. So the next round for the GT5s is a classic and a favourite of mine, Donington Park GP for the GT4s. So do tune in for that one, because I love Donington Park and it should be a fantastic race. But for myself, Seeks and the GT5s, we do all thank Emily Linscott for sponsoring this event. Very handy indeed, in my opinion. And a cracking league. But from all of us, thank you all for watching tonight. Do stay tuned for some GT4 action from Sugo from my point of view, and don't forget to cheer on the in the rear view races team. But
yeah, we need to create us a page.
But
just support us from home.
But from everyone here, thank you for watching tonight and enjoy the rest of your evening.